Okay, here we
Well,
go.
you know.
We are live, Scott. And like I said, we're early. 1 minute.
Wow, that's amazing.
Pretty groovy.
That is
Hey, look
groovy.
what I got from the library today.
Oh, I gotta.
That's apparently the latest one.
Oh,
Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, Where the Body Was.
oh yeah.
I got to check this out. When I was in San Diego and Brubaker and Eric Shanauer were actually interacting in our little
Yeah,
art group,
yeah.
they got together for a thing about a body that was found. And this is the weirdest coincidence. I think that's the only reason they were working together on it. Both of them had lived as army brats in that part of Cuba that the Army has. What's it called? What's it called? The we
Oh,
own part of Cuba.
Guantanamo,
Well, yeah, I guess so. Is that all it's called? Guantanamo? Okay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, I thought it was called something else, but
Didn't you work?
anyway, they were both there as kids.
Oh yeah.
Since they're about the same age, they should have run into each other, but I guess they didn't. But anyway, the whole story was about somebody finding a corpse and having to, very Blue Velvet style kind of deal with all the intrigue there.
Oh
Very
yeah.
Blue Baker.
Gotcha.
So that was cool to be around and see the originals come in, and kind of fun. And
That
that's
is
when
cool.
that's when I was first introduced to the idea that I'm never going to be up to a certain level unless I really work on it, and I didn't work on it. Because, when you look at Brubaker, I asked him this really stupid question, man, how do you hands like that? And he has this kind of detached, kind of slow, kind of superior kind of attitude. And he just started waving his hand around, turning it and all that. And and it was like, this ready reference at all times. And, and when somebody do something like that, it just makes you feel kind of dumb. It's like, hey, I can look at a hand and draw it any way I can think of drawing it.
Got one right here.
If I just take the time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is kind of funny, and I mean, not to talk about hands specifically, but it is kind of funny how, certain things are like, oh, it's real hard to draw, but what I found is, yeah, you just draw enough of them, I'm more and more convinced all the time that anybody can learn to draw.
It's all mileage. Oh yeah, and that hit me like a bolt one time when I had that didn't like me at all. That was art directing. He got a position after the guy that liked me left. And
Uh-oh.
all of a sudden, it was time to catch up on all the stuff he had been kind of getting away with.
Slacking.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've had
and
it too
I
easy
had,
around here.
and this was at Heavy Iron, and he gave me that line. He says, "Anybody can draw. That's my only talent." So hearing
Well,
that, it was like that felt like
yeah.
uh,
What do you got? What do you
what do you
got,
got?
Ellis?
It's the only thing you can do is draw.
Yeah.
And of
Well,
course, you're
hang
surrounded
on.
by all that tech you have to be good at to be
I
part
I
of
didn't
the
s- I didn't
pipeline.
say I didn't say anybody can draw. I said anybody can learn to draw. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
difference.
yeah.
I mean, let's face it. You and we draw more than
Some,
95% of the people in the world.
mhm,
Just as a course of our lives.
yeah,
Now, that I'm not saying we're the top 5%. I'm just saying most people don't ever pick up a pencil.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like, and most people are convinced they can't draw.
Right.
Hey, look at these pups, man. They're mounting up. That looks pretty cool. I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna.
going
I'm.
to
Well,
go
you've
ahead, go
seen.
through.
Okay, you've seen some of these. Page
Let me
one.
solo you.
Okay, solo me.
So there you go. It doesn't
Okay.
help though. The vertical doesn't come through any
Yeah,
better.
I'll turn them sideways. No.
Okay, no, that's better
No,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Okay, page one. This is chapter 4. Page 1, page 2, page
Oh
3,
yeah, oh yeah,
page 4.
yeah. That came out all right.
Yeah, I thought it came out real good. And then page 5. You haven't
Yeah.
seen this. I think I started this last week. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't record last week, did we?
No, we didn't. No,
Yeah.
that's That's something that happened.
Yeah.
What happened there? Something. Oh, I thought you were out of town. I wasn't even thinking about recording.
I sent you an email and you didn't get it. Like at 8:00, you're like, I thought you were out of town.
Yeah, I try to ignore.
It's your fault.
Getting on the computer as long as I can. Particularly, I've learned about life to not get on the internet and go to all the social media stuff.
I swear I've gotten more productive since I have taken Twitter. I haven't even quit Twitter, but I just moved it to my back page on my phone.
There you go.
You know, and it's like I never look at it. And what I'll do is instead of looking at it and scrolling through it, I'll look at it and I go, well, I got a couple things. This is what it is. Okay, no one's messaged me. It's all people talking. You know, then it's like I got tired of like I would post something or I'd post something and I'd get no traction. So it's like, well, why am I even bothering? You know. To comment on other people's stuff, and then I realized like there were people who would ask for like, hey, you know, share your art or whatever, and it never went anywhere. And they would say, hey, I'm looking for a paid art job, and I would send them a link to my webpage, and they'd never go because I could see when people go to my webpage within reason.
Well, there's a lot of this stuff that is so scam related. They're either working on mailing lists or whatever the heck they're doing. They're doing some sort of farming.
Well, and here's the deal. I mean, I'm working on Black Cricket, and I'm happy with how Black Cricket is going. Dan seems to be happy with what I'm doing. So, you know, and I mean, you know, what else do I need to be working on?
Nothing. I'm kind of proud at this point that I'm going to be doing the Kindle stuff. Probably starting tonight and probably get it done tonight. I mean, there's nothing to do other than go and put the cover in place and you know, they review them. They don't instantly put them on. So don't expect it to be for sale tonight. But
is this DL and Odious?
No. This is
it's the Black Locust, or not the Black Locust, the Locust Bride.
The Locust Bride.
Locust Bride.
Will be very shortly.
And that is the novelized script.
It's correct. Yes, I did a script, which you talk about. You know, people act like they don't outline it all. You talk about having an outline. If you've got a script, you've got an outline.
It's all outlined.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool, but it was still extremely challenging. That much of an outline, it just showed me my own limitations. I just don't retrieve that descriptive kind of wording with great ease. It really took me a lot of work. But I put the work in at 30 minutes a day, so I can't say that it would have taken months if I really settled into it, because after all, that's only 2 hard weeks of actual hours.
But still, I mean,
Yeah, but these people that claim to write, well, I'm sure it's not a claim. You know, you can sit down and write a movie script if you just do nothing but drink coffee and you'll write something. If it's a down and dirty first draft, you'll get it.
Yeah, saw.
Go ahead.
When I was a kid, one of my heroes. This tells you how weird of a kid I was. I thought Isaac Asimov. Now you're familiar with who Isaac Asimov is, what he looks like, and kind of his mannerisms, right?
Yes.
I thought he was like the coolest guy in the entire world. I thought he was. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's the role model you want for kids. You bet.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, and so I remember seeing him like on the Today Show, because I used to think those shows were great. You know, back when you could watch stuff like this, it wasn't all politics. And before, or as I referred to it to my wife tonight, before the world went to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw him, and he was on there, and I think it was on the Today Show, but he was on some talk show, and he had a typewriter, manual typewriter, and he was typing up a book,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, you do this amazing amount of work, and he's like, yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've ever seen that picture of him on his throne of books.
No, I haven't.
He made a throne of all his books that he had written and had published, and it made a nice little comfy little chair.
That's cool. I mean, I thought he was cool as a kid, but he was always writing. And I was listening to a thing today. Actually, it was a sermon, believe it or not, and they were talking about Stephen King. And Stephen King's thing is, I'm successful because I at a certain point I committed to, I would sit down and write 10 pages a day, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
it.
And let's face it, a lot of people are not going to commit to anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
10 pages a day would break my heart. It'd be a 24-hour day practically, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Well, it'd be at least I'd say it'd probably be at least a 10-hour day. And I'm sure King and those guys, they go in and get really hot and listen to heavy metal. And of course, back in the day,
if you're him, you do cocaine.
Yeah, back in the day, he was doing cocaine, and he about 4 hours, he can probably get that, and really feel like he had a good day,
Well, of course, the guy that I always talk about is John Byrne, and John Byrne will sit down and draw 3 pages a day.
Yeah,
it's like, holy cow, man. But he is set. People say he just sits down. He doesn't listen to the radio. He said occasionally he would, when he's conducting business, he'd talk on the phone, and he found that was some of his most productive times because his drawing brain kind of went into like zone out mode,
Yes, sure.
And,
Well, that's interesting that a guy that, I think about drawing as something I can do with distractions, listening to stuff.
Yeah.
But King, on the opposite, I cannot write when I've got distractions going on.
I can't either. I can't thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly. You need all your brain to do that. And I found the picture of Isaac Asimov on the book, so I'll share that. But King supposedly just cranks up heavy metal or whatever he wants to listen to, has all kinds of stuff going on, and just smokes away at it. And I don't know how he does it. Let's see if I can share a screen. I know how to do this. Present this. Open it first. I'll share that too. Okay. Always compliments. So it seemed like there was something else I wanted to talk to you about.
I will be out of town again next week.
Okay.
100%.
At this time?
Yes. We're going to Santa Fe next week. So I'm hoping to get this page done before I leave Dan, if Dan's listening.
I'm sorry, my brain, you talk about your brain being on hold at the moment. I'm doing something semi-techy, and I have to have all my brain focused on it. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. Share screen. There we go. Allow. There it is. There's Asimov on his
Throne books.
Yeah, he made
Nice.
that one himself. They've got another one that looks almost like it's AI that I didn't even want to get close to. This is the one I remember. He's piled up all his books and made a chair out of it.
I don't know what it was about him that, I mean, I read his books, but I was never like a huge fan of his writing. But I
Yeah,
loved
he
reading.
as a stylist, he's not all that. He's just he is a storyteller, though. I mean, he's you get in, you dig into what he's about story
Well,
wise.
what I dug is like some of his short story collections. He
Mm-hmm.
would uh, he would write essays about different things, and I really dug his essays. And
Yeah.
there was a guy. So like when I was a kid, like New York City seemed like Oz to me. My grandmother's from New York, and she would talk about it, but I didn't go until I was an adult. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd talk about oh, I was in Manhattan and I was doing this, I was eating at whatever club and I was doing this, and he just seemed like such a cool dude. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that seems like a lot of like oh, what's the guy that writes about I'm completely drawing a blank on my favorite author. Uh,
Elmore Leonard.
no, not Elmore, the humorist, the guy that writes about the pig and the guy with the pig and the. God, it just
You'll
shows you
have
how checked out my brain was while I was all that stuff. Never mind. It'll all come back to me. But also, did you see this? We're getting confirmation that the Fantastic Four movie will be set in 1963, which
might
that sounds,
save it. Might save it.
yeah. It says Marvel Secret War. Yeah, it says,
It's the only hope that movie's going to be worth a crap.
you bet you. Yeah, doing something that era is the best idea I've heard that they've got. Oh, what'd I do? Did I, I did this to you. Or you're trying to get back. I may have bumped us all out some way or other that I'm not quite sure. Hey, there's Dan saying evening. We'll see if Scott makes it back. Add to stage. Uh, hmm. I'm not sure what I've got to do. There. There's part of what I needed to do. Okay. So Dan says hi. And you lost Scott. Yes, I did. I definitely lost Scott. I don't know. Scott, though, I mean, how there he is. Wait a second. I'll see what I did wrong or if I did anything wrong. Hey, Scott, I'm sorry if I did it.
No, I
Messing
think
around sharing those screens, I may have done something.
well, StreamYard crashed on me for some reason,
Oh, okay. Maybe
and
it's just coincidental.
I had to load the app. I don't know what was going on. It was kind of weird.
Now, what do you use? An app that you got on your iPhone?
Well, I was using the browser, just the StreamYard, the link that you send me, and it gave me the option to open it in a app. So I opened the app, and that seemed to have fixed it.
Okay.
So
I've
anyway,
got to research that. I'm going to, I work with this bad camcorder of mine. I could be working with an iPhone or an iPad to do the recording with, and I need to do that. It's like dumb that I have that much better fidelity for things and not using it.
yes, stop it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because I know how to use a camcorder, but I don't know enough about my phone to use it.
I have to work on it.
Yep.
Anyway, you were talking about the Fantastic Four movie being set in 1963.
Which is
That
perfect. James
is
Bond time and all that stuff.
that may be that. I mean, I was originally a Fantastic Four fan. That was what really got me sucked into comics.
Sure. I mean, it's
until
really when they're stepping off into superheroes, really.
right. Well, at least in Silver Age, or at least in
Mhm.
Marvel Silver Age for sure. But
Yeah.
that would, if they do that and it's decent, that might get me back into the Marvel, because I don't have any hope for a Fantastic Four movie.
Well, yeah, it does seem almost like past its time at this point. It's like you've taken this long to supposedly give it another pass without all the complications of the Fox contract and all that. It's like, okay, now maybe you can get it done right, and you waited just long enough that nobody's going to care.
Yeah, that may be. But if they do it in '63, I may be that may be enough to put me over the edge, because I'm with you. That's when the book came out, so that's when they should put it. If they're gonna, I have said about James Bond, I have zero interest in any new James Bond projects unless they are period pieces.
Time is the charm for Fantastic Four. Yeah, we're including the Corben movie in that one, aren't we? With 5.
Yeah. Have you seen that documentary about the Corben movie, Doomed?
We talked about it a little bit, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it's a good doc. It's a good doc.
Yeah, it's great. It's heartbreaking because the actors are so sincere in their love for the project and the material, and it's like this is all a thing,
Yeah, and it's weird. I think Corman, it was ready to let it go anywhere the guys that were writing the checks wanted to take it, and if he didn't know that it was just totally a scam, it's because he may have sensed it, but didn't investigate. If you're paychecks, I'm not asking questions, and I don't feel like he was a villain in it.
No, not really. I think they approached him and said, "Can you make it for $1 million?" He said, "Well, yeah,
I can make it. I can make anything for $1 million. You bet. I am scalable." And
yeah, exactly.
That's Roger Corman. You can tell him what the budget is, and he can tell you what you're going to get for it.
And the sad thing is, that may have been one of the better of the Fantastic Four movies.
It wasn't bad in terms of like you say, effort and sincerity. And I didn't know that kid was the guy playing Doom was Robert Culp's kid.
I don't know who Robert Culp is. Sorry.
Oh, I Spy.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. What do you guys think of the next Deadpool movie? Oh, that trailer looks great.
I have not seen it, but I guess it has Wolverine in it, right?
Oh yeah, I think the thing is called Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, there you go. It better have Wolverine or somebody's getting sued.
Yeah, Iger is not a fan of the character, so I take that as a good sign. Yeah, well, you mean what? It's very vulgar. I mean, the first one almost drove me off. I said, "What is this? Is this supposed to be a comic book?" Because this guy's awful vulgar for sitting around listening to as a little fantasy. But I guess they wore me out or wore me down. I get it now. He is funny.
Yeah, I've never been a big Deadpool fan. Not for any particular reason, one way or the other.
Yeah, of course I did that. Know. Did that sample with it, knowing nothing about him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Marvel asked Ellis to draw a Deadpool sample.
And I did it, and took a year to do it. 2 pages.
Yeah, and they were unimpressed with your speed, I think.
Yeah, we're unimpressed with the speed. You're supposed to have, I was supposed to have done an all-nighter and sent that back.
Well, yeah, it's like, this guy is not eager enough.
Yeah.
This guy will not work for peanuts because he's not desperate, obviously.
Yeah, just I would be totally. My methodology, of course, with this X thing would be just completely different. I would set aside, 3 hours a day and probably have a page done in, a couple of days. But
a day or two.
Back then, it was like I was almost like froze up with all the wrong I was going to do with it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, because I've drawn stuff that I know I'm going to, for the submissions editor and stuff like that. And I mean, invariably, the rule is everything that I draw like that, I throw away the first couple pages because it's like, oh, this is horrible,
Oh, yeah. I had some sort of weird thing going where I just couldn't do what I considered a proper background. And I just got sick myself trying to struggle through it. I do like we are finally getting a comic accurate Wolverine costume. Yeah, they're going back to that blue and
like the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna obviously those two have got a chemistry together. They're going to have a lot of fun together. But it's funny though to juxtapose it with the the seriousness of Logan and all that. It's like, okay, what do we do? Where do we step? What part of the universe do we step into to really dig this movie? Because obviously the actor has done Wolverine before. What is he going to bring to it this time? Does he just totally change gears and say, this is now Wolverine?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, I guess. I don't know. I mean, Wolverine's not my favorite X-Men. I liked the Fox X-Men movies only because they were so weird and kind of cheesy, so I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, first thing. Yeah, I mean the footing is totally different on the Fox X-Men. Yeah.
And I like that because to me, so like when I was a kid, I read the Fantastic Four and then I got into the X-Men. And to me, the X-Men always seemed separate from the rest of the Marvel Universe. They weren't. I knew that. I mean, but they just had a different vibe. Because they were, they didn't fit in. And to me, like in my ideal X-Men universe, Wolverine would never, ever, ever join the Avengers.
And that happened, didn't it? Yeah, that happened at some point.
Yeah, and they've kind of become, they were always, to me, the X-Men. This is my take on the X-Men. The X-Men were a school, obviously, where people that were mutants could learn to use their powers. And then that evolved to kind of like this quasi-secret organization for people with powers. And they would never mingle with the rest of the universe. In my brain, they would know each other maybe in terms of like the Avengers and the X-Men, but they would never really mingle together because they had they were different people. To me, the X-Men always should have a cloud over them because they're burdened with these powers.
Yeah. Well, it's like the one thing about the Fox movie that that stays with you on parts, that Bruce Davidson character playing the senator that gets blessed with his new mutant power where he turns all blubbery and all that.
Oh yeah.
Comes out of the ocean and it's like, that was the kind of a Dan says, I hear Jackman told Disney he did not want Captain Marvel in the movie. So we can thank him for that. Yeah, sure.
Why would you would never want Cap? I mean,
you can't have like
they've ruined the Marvel universe because they've built in these super powered characters, and you can't. How does a Daredevil operate in that same universe? Or whatever.
Silly.
It is silly.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I haven't seen it. The Superman where he's battling this creature, something is picking on his mother, bullying her. All of a sudden he comes screaming out of the sky and drills this guy across several cornfields. And I haven't seen that movie, but it was an interesting scene. But I mean, all this destruction Superman is doing by basically having a temper tantrum. It's
Okay, I got an art question for you, Ellis.
Okay.
And Dan can pipe in. So this is the script.
Okay, wait a second. Let me catch you up with Dan. It's like AV Club as opposed to the chess club. Both are on the social level, but opposite goals.
Yes, exactly.
And both are hated by the popular clique. Okay, go ahead. Ask your question. I'm sorry.
I don't think the Avengers are hated as much, but so I've got this panel, this book, this page that I did, and it's got him jumping. Well, he's jumping later, like 2 pages later. Is this too similar to this? What do I need to do? You got any advice about Ellis?
Have I got any advice? Okay, yeah. You do have pretty much the kind of the same page. I would say,
should I change his pose?
In the air like he's ready to burst for a hero landing. You know, it's like have him to where his legs are more
in front of
wide apart and kind of like a preparing for a frog touchdown. You know. I don't know, just, posing is, one of those things like, man, you get a strong pose. Oh yeah. I shouldn't say this out loud, but I share things around. I know Scott is not going to sell something that I bought from a Kickstarter and turn it into his own little enterprise. I know he's not going to do that.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Don't talk. I know what you're saying.
So I probably shouldn't bring it up. Okay. I won't.
Oh, but that was pretty cool, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to go in depth on it because I think it's good material. We're talking about an artist that I supported his Kickstarter, and he's got a book on everything he knows about painting, showing his process and all that. Exactly what you want to hear. And, I shared it, and it's like, I shared it with Scott. I didn't share it with, anybody on my own Gumroad or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. You didn't strip his name off of it and call it Ellis's Guide to Painting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to come up with a different pose here because I think looking at it, I'm like, I like the pose.
Dip into your burn library and look for something he's done dynamic. It's like I say, the idea of being in the world, he's ready. But it's funny because Kirby has got one big pose. He's just able to turn it in 360 or however many degrees anytime he feels like it. It's that one fist forward, fully extended with the body, and one leg way back. He just does that pose over and over again because, that's what to him is that one peak moment of energy. So, he just repeats it.
Yes.
I was seeing something about kayfabes claiming they had an apology they wanted to make, and I didn't watch it long enough to see what it might have been, but I don't know. I think it was just some sort of generalized thing that they were saying, hey, we got a lot of good feedback on this, and we'll do it some more now that we know that we should have been doing it.
Never apologize.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never apologize.
That's for suckers.
It was Sleazy P. Martini, who I follow on Rumble, had some sort of controversy about some sort of podcasting kind of guy that, like me, when I was sharing that screen a while ago, if I had brought up some sort of personal porn image, we would have had a lot more hits anyway. But he did that, this guy, and so, but he owned it. It was some sort of weird kind of cosplay kind of thing where he's dressed as a horse or something like that. And it's like, you could be mortified and crawl out of the public eye for life, or like this guy didn't apologize for a second. Just said exactly why. His brain kind of works like that.
Well,
and
oh, like you don't like to dress up like a horse.
Yeah, like you don't like to. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That seemed to be like
have a skeleton in your closet.
Exactly. That's how you do it. You just go on the offense. Guess this Fannie Willis right now, they got her on the stand. It's like she's ready to come off that stand and slap somebody up the head on that judge and all that's going. It's got her on the stand saying, answering questions. I'm the DA. I don't sit here and answer questions.
I don't answer questions.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is like, that's where the Republicans don't. They're like, no. They're all about,
Hey, Dan's asking questions. That's page 6, Scott.
Yes.
Hey, and then he says, "Hey, I got a suggestion." So,
too late.
Be ready for that. Too late.
Too late.
Okay.
Sorry, Dan. No.
No. Give it to us. Yeah. Lay it on us.
I had one of those days at work where I just was argumentative, man. I got so many arguments today with people.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Scott.
I know. Well, it doesn't. But gosh, people wear me out sometimes.
Sometimes you got to lay it out. Lay it out to them. Okay. What if we have Black Crane with his arms in the air like Rocky, where he's on and his legs bent doing long? Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about a frog of a little more of that.
So he's not jumping. Oh,
yeah.
I think I misread the script because I think he's just. Okay. I get what he's saying.
Okay.
I misread the script. Sorry, Dan. The writer, I'll blame it on.
There you go. Using the wrong font. That'll
yes, that's it. You know what's funny?
And you can see him screaming, Yahoo!
Well, he's got a mask. He's got a mask.
Masking is kind of weird when you think about Deadpool. Those guys are just totally masked up to where they could at any point be replaced by or just have the stand-in do all the work. But I guess the performance, is still important enough to Ryan Reynolds that he's the guy in the mask, as far as I know.
Okay, this is what I'm doing.
Okay, let's look at it.
Yeah.
Well, if I can throw out a suggestion, I was talking about. Okay.
Yeah. No. You can throw out your suggestion while I finish drawing this.
Okay.
What's your suggestion, Ellis?
Well, this is more like what I'm here. I'll draw the silhouette real quick.
Okay.
So you can see it with my poor camera when it could be a whatchamacallit?
iPhone.
An iPhone. Okay, now you can see it, the camera even closer. I'm about to fill in this figure. Here we go. This kind of a frog leap like this, to where this is more like your legs.
Well, I think I misinterpreted the script, and I think this was what Dan was getting at. I think he was wanting this. He's running across the rooftops, and then he's going to stop and he's going to do this big Rocky pose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Like like Rocky ran up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing right now. So it's going to be, and you won't even. I'm going to cut his feet off.
No, he is jumping, but it is like he's doing a long jump. There you go. There's the reference to bring up. The guy that set the record that I guess it's never been broken down in Mexico. They've studied it many times. Like, what do you have? Atmospheric conditions? What the hell? How'd that guy 40 feet or whatever?
Yeah. Okay, so you don't like this, Dan.
Scott wants to argue.
I've told you, man. I'm telling you, man. Today was one of those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started off. Well, I messed up because I woke up this morning. I thought I don't want to go to work today. I was tired. I've been tired since my trip. I worked 67 and a half hours last week.
Do you?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Your, what do you call it? Your lust for life just can't be maintained like that.
So you don't like him like that?
It seemed very static for something you're calling a jump.
That's not a jump.
Okay.
It's a hero pose.
Oh, okay.
Did Dan respond?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look. I'm trying to do.
I'm asking Dan questions and you're not looking.
No, he's jumping, but it's like a long jump, and he says, "Hang on."
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure when he said that.
This is absolutely the worst way to collaborate.
Oh yeah. Nah, you guys got it
could be
covered in
worse.
terms.
It's like play by mail chess.
Yeah. No, nah, it is a jump. It is a jump, he says.
Okay, I'll make it a jump, damn it.
Well, you're just pushing it around right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think I jammed myself in the thumb with a lead.
Man, I gave myself a paper cut that made me just jump at all the nerve endings that went off when I gave it to myself. It probably should have been ordinary blunt piece of cardboard. And it's like, how'd that cut me?
So I was packing to go to Princeton on my work trip, and my dog bit me, and I don't know if you can see this.
Hey, Dan is giving you some rep. He's saying, check this video at the 15-second mark. Something like this. I guess he's going to give us a video. I'll give you a share screen with it, or I'll even. Yeah, I think I can. We'll see. Once he through. He's assuming I can handle whatever he sends me, and I may not. It may baffle me. It's got a very good chance of baffling me. We'll see. The link is in the chat. Aren't we in the chat? Yes.
I thought you were.
I'm in the chat. Is it showing up? No, I don't. Oh, no, I don't see a link, Dan. Link. You sure you cut and pasted that link? Check this video. No, there's the one where you said check this video has no link that I see. I should.
Well, I can look at it later.
Yeah. You can get it from me.
Yeah, send it to me, Dan. I'll work on the other panels. It'll be. I mean, we don't have much more. We got about 15 more minutes, so
yeah,
it is not that.
And we've been scintillating. I've drawn blanks, and yeah.
As always. Let me ask Dan this question. Dan, you were working on sending something off. Did you get something sent off? I'm going to assume no, because he would have told me. Anyway. So what'd you do today, Ellis? You said you had a good day.
Well, I'm doing a new thing. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos of what they call flow rope. It's just flow exercise.
Okay.
So just kind of a fun way to. It's kind of like nunchakas or something like that. You just have to get coordinated enough to go with the flow and the figure eight of the movement and all that. And I'm really enjoying it in a piece by piece way. It's amazing, the idea of mechanical memory or muscle memory. It's just not easy for me to to get a new coordination. But you know, if you're dogged enough, all of a sudden you have a breakthrough, and it's like, hey, cool, I can do it.
You know, our friend DL, he is like that. When he was a kid, like in junior high or whatever, he would sit in his bedroom and practice. He had some nunchucks, some like wooden nunchucks, and he'd practice with them, and he got really good with them. And then one time he decided he wanted to learn to juggle, so he would juggle and just he'd sit in his room for hours and practice stuff. I've never had that much patience.
Well, that's the deal. Yeah, it takes a little bit of patience.
Drumsticks. He learned to twirl drumsticks. He decided he never played the drums. He just went and bought a pair of drumsticks and started learning to twirl them. You know.
Still waiting on the last page from Kevin. It's Dan. Dan catching up with you. We just need him to add the final credit on the last page. I will remind Kevin tomorrow. So twirling drumsticks. That's interesting. So he has some back of his head ambition of maybe getting around to being in a band or anything.
No. I don't think so. I think he just liked to be able to do it. And he would do stuff like, you know, little hand tricks, like, you know, flipping a quarter or something like that, you know.
Yeah, I thought about acquiring that skill before. Roll a coin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like cross your knuckles.
Yeah.
I was practicing for a while. I was reading about you can hold a coin and do somehow you flip it and it'll launch it at a high rate of speed.
Yes.
And I thought that seemed really cool, and I practiced a little bit, but I never got good at it.
I've seen those people that can snap their fingers with that coin launch, and it's like, good Lord, that put an eye out.
Like a missile. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is, where do you practice that?
Yeah.
You know.
It's like getting out in a park by yourself and hitting long balls with the bat and a ball.
Yeah.
It's like, now I got to go get them. Yeah, or going out and doing that kind of practice with one baseball.
So you need a little kid to help you.
Yeah.
You have to have a child to shag balls for you.
Yeah.
I don't have patience for stuff like that, though. I mean, that's, you know, it's just not baked into my DNA. I'm more, I can do stuff like draw because I can see the results of it. But I mean, like flipping a quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll practice it until I get good. Oh, and then I know how to do it, and then I can do stuff.
Dan says, I apologize about the delay. Remember, things are better, but he still has a lot happening.
Oh, yeah. No. Kevin has a thing going on, so I don't, you know, and I'm hesitant to ask in the group because I don't want to be like, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, you have this personal situation going on, but hey, get our free comic done.
Get our stuff done. Yeah.
Get our stuff done. Our stuff is, you know, no. I'm a dick, but I'm not that kind of dick.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Anyway, so I'm going to Santa Fe.
Why is that?
Michelle has a engineering society meeting in Santa Fe.
You get to tag along and get room service.
I get to tag along. We're staying at a hotel that is, I think she says $490 a night.
Yeesh.
I know that's like rent, or used to be rent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but her organization is paying for that. But we're going to go to a museum called Meow Wolf, which is this really cool interactive museum in Santa Fe, bankrolled by George R.R. Martin. We're going to go do, I don't know what else we're doing. Michelle wanted to go to a stained glass class, but I did not want to because it was like $200 a person.
Mm-hmm.
And you make a little stained glass ornament, and that just didn't sound really appealing to me. So I said, can I go and just draw during the class? And they were like, no. So So I don't know and Michelle went ahead and booked it, so I don't know. But there's nobody in the class hardly. So,
Well, if that may be one of those things that if you let yourself, you might just have a great experience. You never know.
I might.
Yeah.
We'll see. Michelle's friend is going. She was thinking about doing it. If she does, I may let the girls go do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Honestly, after working 1 billion hours last week, I just want to not be at work for a while.
Yeah.
Just
be in get a different vibe going. Yeah.
One of the best times I ever had on a trip, we went to New Orleans. It was a work trip for Michelle like this. And I would go and I'd walk around the French Quarter and I'd draw. And then I'd come back to the room. I'd eat lunch and I'd come back to the room and relax, sit down, and I had a book and I'd read for about an hour and then I'd go out again. And it's like it's just kind of nice because it's kind of like, oh man, no time. There was no time pressure, and I like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'll make you start to have a good time quick.
Yeah.
No pressures anymore. Hey, wait a second. I got to catch up with Dan. I was looking at what I was doing. The thing, Heroes Con. They have not gotten back to me. See what the hotel offers for that kind of money. They must have some sweet perks. Yeah.
Well,
pool, spa. Yeah.
Well, okay. They will probably have a very nice gym.
Yeah.
But we've stayed in all kinds of hotels, and my experience has been the more you pay, the less you get. For example, if you go to Holiday Inn, the Holiday Inn, $90 a night, full breakfast, coffee in your room. Sometimes they have coffee in the lobby 24/7. Just a good thing. Go to Hilton, it's $250 a night. Well, we don't offer breakfast, but we have a really nice restaurant you can eat breakfast at. Oh, and it's $65 a person. That's been my experience. The more you pay, the less you get. Which sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get nicer rooms, maybe bigger rooms. I mean, $490, we better have a honking huge room, I would think, but who knows?
We'll learn. Yep.
Yeah.
On-site laundry. Yep. You ought to get that.
Well, yeah, I should get a massage.
Yeah.
On-site massage, maybe. Who knows?
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No. Did you?
No, I didn't. No, but I did catch up commercials, and I did like a few of them. I was determined almost just the moment I saw old Arnold selling insurance, I thought, I'm determined not to like that one. But then when I saw it, it was like, that is pretty funny.
So do you watch sports at all or listen to them or anything, Ellis?
I will watch combat sports here and there. And that's it.
Like martial arts?
Yeah, MMA. I like to watch stuff on YouTube where it's like highlights from, Olympic judo and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I'm not really a sports guy. I used to watch college football, but I don't like what they've done with the playoffs and with the transfer portal and some of this other stuff. So I'm boycotting, I guess you could call it. Which is funny because my company makes a lot of college sports trophies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without sports, where would you be?
I would, yeah, but I've never cared for NFL football. Just never been a fan.
I've revealed what an alien I was when I came back for a visit one time with and Russ and Dad were watching some football, and it's like they had all these things that had become routine in terms of like how it tracks the ball and all that, and I was just amazed at the tech.
Oh yeah,
because I hadn't watched it. Hadn't watched it in 15 years. Yeah, what is all this stuff? Look at all that weird refreshing of where the ball's at. Says I have not. Dan says I have not traveled since COVID, but I heard a lot of hotels have done away with breakfast buffets,
Holiday
and that
still
killed
has them.
enthusiasm to go anywhere.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
was the Super Bowl recent? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The only sports I watch are the Golden Girls. Yeah, I don't get that.
I guess it means they're good sports. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I've been watching on the elliptical, because the elliptical. Oh yeah, my company did make the Pop-Tart trophy. I held the Pop-Tart trophy in my hand today, an extra one that we have made. Not only did my company make the Pop-Tart trophy, but my department modeled, 3D modeled, and printed and molded the actual Pop-Tart that went, the bronze Pop-Tart that goes
Made
in the
the
top.
mold out of it.
Yep,
Cool.
made the mold, made the 3D model. In fact, I approved it because they were like, "Well, how does this look?" And I said, "No, you need to make the sprinkles bigger." I've been watching, so I've been doing the elliptical 30 minutes a night, and I have been watching the old Newhart show, not the Bob Newhart show, but the Newhart show, which I didn't know if I'd like it, but I kind of fell on it because because it's on Amazon and it's not on Freeverse, so it doesn't have any commercials. And I'm digging it. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's the one where you own the inn up in Vermont or whatever.
Which has the, it has the legendary best ending of all time for the show series.
Yes. I remember seeing that live. But,
yes.
But I like Bob Newhart.
Oh yeah. He's one of the most charismatic personalities ever to come through TV. It's funny to think about the acerbic Don Rickles and Newhart were just best of friends. They just
really.
They went places together. They literally were peas in a pod on everything. They just dug being with each other.
That's cool.
They had the thing of we got to get the wives together, of course, acting like, that would be the reason.
Yeah.
The other guy, I guess was big friends with Rickles was Get Smart, Don Adams.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
All those guys. Back in the day, back in 63, where we're going back to again.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that may be, if you had a time machine, going back and doing Groundhog Day with 1963 would be not a bad idea.
I'm 100% convinced of this, that 9/11 was something like 9/11 was almost like we shifted to an alternate universe. And really, I think you could roll it back a few months to Y2K. That the world did actually end at Y2K, and
in a way it kind of did. Yeah. Speaking of Bob Newhart, did you ever see his show Bob, where he played a cartoonist? You know what? That
I've seen
Jack Kirby guest starred once. How about that?
Really?
Now, is this late Bob Newhart or is this early Bob Newhart?
It's late. Okay. It's late. Okay. And I don't think it was a long-lived show.
Hey, it blows my mind. This blows my mind, too. I didn't know this. Tom Poston was married to Suzanne Plachette. I did not know that.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Tom Poston, I think it's probably on YouTube. He did a movie for William Castle, one of his gimmicky movies.
Yeah.
It's called Zots. And it's about a magic coin. Yeah, you could your company could make the magic coin, Scott. If you had this coin, it had its rules. If you had the coin in your pocket and you didn't, if you just pointed at somebody, they would have extreme pain.
Really?
And if you pointed at them and said Zots, enough destruction would occur that it could, it'd be fatal. And if you had your hands in your pockets and you couldn't point, but you were falling off a roof and you said Zots, everything would turn into slow motion. So it had these little rules, and Tom Poston was the star, and it was a pretty good movie. It was a great kiddie matinee pleaser.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, we're about at the 1 hour mark. Let's see. Yeah, 13 episodes. Okay, I'll look that up. You guys ever seen Cold Turkey? Norman Lear's one big motion picture. Yeah, with Dick Van Dyke. Whole town decides to go cold turkey, so it all but just becomes a bunch of skits about people losing their mind.
Or don't they do it to try and get money from a cigarette company or something?
Yeah, there's something like that. There's a motive for why they would all do that to themselves. So, Scott, we just hit an hour. I think we did all right. Hey, help me with that. Jeeves and Wooster, who wrote those? Who am I thinking
PG Woodhouse.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Is that who
come
you're
up with that? Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Ellis. Yes, I can. I'm at the point. I just hope my brain holds out until retirement.
Yes. Free on Tubi. We can watch the not the Bob Newhart, the Cold Turkey. I'm sure is what we were talking about last. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Scott, you ready to bail?
I am. Dan, thank you. I'll work on this. I have the first 4 pages scanned. I need to send you links to the Dropbox. I'll work on this until I leave. I don't know if I'll get it done or not. This weekend is going to be scrambling around trying to get everything done before we leave. But anyway, we'll get there.
Dan says night, guys, and I will tell everybody in TV land good night too.
Yep.
See ya.
Night. Thanks, guys.
Bye.